Hey, welcome. Today we're going to dive into an idea from a thinker who, way back over a century ago, saw this deep fracture in the modern person, a crack that I think you'll agree might feel incredibly familiar to us today. So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like your head and your heart are just on two totally different pages? Like what you think you should do and what you feel like doing are miles apart. It's a classic modern feeling, right? Well, it turns out it's a problem with some very, very deep roots. And the person who really put his finger on this was the Dutch theologian Herman Bavinck. Get this. All the way back in 1904, he identified this internal discord as the central crisis of his age. He saw it coming. So let's dig into his diagnosis. Okay, so what did Bavinck see as the real cause of this conflict? This thing that was just eating away at the modern individual. Well, Bavinck looked around and he saw modern life creating these huge splits inside of us. You see it here, a massive divide between our thinking and our feeling, between the objective, cold world of science and our personal, messy experience of life. And of course, a split between our private faith and our public culture. He believed all this disharmony came from one place, what he called a growing aversion to the common Christian faith. Now, when you feel that broken, that fragmented, what do? Well, you start searching for a solution, right? This feeling created this urgent, almost desperate hunt for a way to put all the pieces of the self back together again. And Bavinck saw this search everywhere. He said the quest for a unified world and life view had basically become the slogan of his time. Whether people knew it or not, they were all looking for one coherent story that could finally make sense of it all. So, what was Bavinck's big solution? Well, it wasn't just some vague idea. He pointed to a very specific and really powerful concept that he believed could bring that harmony back to the self. And his choice of words here is so important. He didn't just say worldview like we do. He used the specific Dutch term, Worldbeschouwing, which really means a world and life view. For him, it was this intentional, active effort to bring religion, science, and philosophy into agreement. It's faith seeking understanding. And here's why he split the concept into those two parts. World is the objective stuff out there. The facts, the data, the universe as it is. But life, that's our inner, subjective reality. Our feelings, our needs, our consciousness. The whole point of a world and life view is to build a solid bridge between the two, to finally get what's true out there to line up with what feels true in here. It's a huge idea, right? But it raises a big question. How does a person actually go about building a view that's so comprehensive and unifying? Bavinck laid out this really elegant three-stage process. First, it starts with the senses, with science. We experience the world, we gather data. But we can't stop there. All that information pushes us to seek wisdom, to look for deeper truths in philosophy that tie it all together. And then finally, that search for a single unifying principle leads us to religion, which offers that ultimate foundation for everything. And this brings us to Bavinck's favorite metaphor for this whole thing, a map. A world and life view isn't something you just make up. No, it's a map that you draw based on careful research of the terrain of reality. And its purpose is incredibly practical. It's there to help you navigate your life. So this whole process of map-making, it all leads to Bavinck's ultimate argument. His big claim about the totally unique role that he believed the Christian faith plays in this quest for a unified self. He argued that for any map to be truly useful, it has to give you good answers to the biggest questions, right? Questions like, who am I? What is all of this really? And what on earth am I supposed to do? A map that can't help you with those things, well, it's not a very good map. And here it is. This is Bavinck's crucial point. He basically said, if you think of reality's deepest questions as a lock, there is one and only one key that fits it perfectly. For Bavinck, that key was Christianity. This is the end game. This is the whole point. For Bavinck, Christianity offered a wisdom so profound it could heal all those fractures we started with. A wisdom that could reconcile us with God, and by doing that, finally reconcile us with ourselves, with the world, and with life itself. It was the ultimate answer to that internal discord consuming the modern self. Which, of course, leaves us with a pretty provocative thought for ourselves. If Bavinck is right that we all need a map to navigate reality, whether we call it a worldview or something else, it makes you wonder, what map is guiding you?